Why do people buy things? You might think this is a silly question. They buy things because they want them or they need them, right? But did you realize there's actually 14 specific reasons why people buy? Understanding those things can be the key to unlocking your marketing, reaching your ideal customer, and massively increasing your sales. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Okay, so 14 reasons why people buy. Are there more than 14? Probably. But these are all the reasons that I have seen others use to justify their reasons for buying something, or even reasons that I have used personally. So let's get right to the list. But before I do, I want to make this easy for you. If you'd like what I'm about to talk about as a free worksheet with all 14 reasons, there's going to be a link in the description so you can click on that. Just put in your information. I'll get it over to you right away. Okay, so here are the 14 reasons why people buy. And let's start with number 1 on our list. By the way, this is in no particular order, but number 1 is to make money. People spend a lot of money to make money, and it is for this reason alone that internet marketers, advertisers, multi-level marketers, and gurus out there selling their online courses, they base their very existence upon that. These are the guys and gals out there that say, hey, give me $10,000 and I'll show you how to make $1 million, right? Keep in mind, they are not the only ones who sell people on the idea of making money. If you think about it, even Boeing and Airbus is currently the largest airplane manufacturer in the world. They have to concern themselves with how their airplanes are made because they want to help the airlines make money, right? Because at the end of the day, if Boeing sells an airplane to, say, American or Delta or Lufthansa or United, if they sell them an airplane that's uncomfortable or slow or hard to get in and out of, or they don't have all the latest features, the passengers are not going to fly on those airlines for very long, right? So the airlines will obviously therefore stop buying their airplanes. So making money is one of the top reasons why people buy. But of course, it's not the only reason though, right? Which brings us to our second reason why people buy, and that is number 2, to save money. This one is pretty straightforward. People will buy things, products, services, whatever, because they believe it will save them some dough. They're going to switch car insurance companies. They'll switch cell phone providers. They might even close down and reopen credit cards because they think that is going to save them money. Number 3 is to save time. Now, similar to saving money, people are also going to want to buy things, products, services, because they believe it'll help them save time. There are a lot of companies out there that exist solely because they save people time, and they are willing to pay for that convenience. Take Uber, for example. Let's face it, walking is free, right? And in many places, public transportation is either free or very low cost, but people do not want to spend the time walking or waiting for a bus or for mass transit. So they call an Uber or a taxi because it saves them time. Number 4 is to avoid effort. Now let's face it, the average consumer is pretty friggin' lazy. So even if your product is the best thing since, well, sliced bread, let's be honest, sliced bread exists because at some point someone used to sell bread that was not sliced. In order to use the bread, you had to either slice it yourself or tear a piece off, like you were some sort of caveman. Can you imagine? How undignified, right? Slicing your own bread. The point is, if your product or service helps your ideal customer avoid effort, it's going to be a lot easier for them to say yes when it comes to the sale. And that brings us to number 5. Number 5 is to escape pain. Now, there's a lot of pain in the world, and people want relief from that pain. We're not just talking physical pain. There's emotional pain, there's spiritual pain, there's relationship pain, family pain, business pain, all sorts of pain, right? And clever marketers know this and agitate that pain before revealing their product or service as the solution. This is a very common cycle known as problem, agitate, solve. And I'll talk more about that at the end. But let's get into the 6th reason. The 6th reason why people buy is for more comfort. Selling comfort is a pretty common reason why people buy things, and it shows up in a lot of different ways. When it comes to selling physical comfort, it might be the luxury of a new couch. It might be how the seats of a new car hug your body, or the sensation of a relaxing massage, right? Or the mattress that gives you the best night's sleep ever. But selling comfort is not just about buying the shoe that is like sex for your feet. Selling people more comfort is oftentimes about feeling better. Maybe it's about filling a void, giving them peace of mind, or even reducing feelings of shame or guilt. And it's for those reasons that people will buy everything from self-help books to psychotherapy to religion. Next is number 7, and that is better health. Better health encompasses a range of things in life. And yes, of course, physical health is what most people think about when it comes to a reason why people buy things, but this also encompasses mental health and spiritual health as well. Okay, so that brings us halfway through the 14 reasons why people buy. So let's do a quick recap and talk about the first 7 reasons. So the first 7 reasons why people make buying decisions is to make money, to save time, avoid effort, escape pain, for more comfort, and for better health. Now, if this list has been helpful to you so far, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the bell so you're notified when new content like this comes up, so you can apply this stuff to your business. All right, so let's get back to our list of 14 reasons why people buy. We got through the first 7. Now let's look at the last 7, but keep in mind they are equally as important as the first 7. So number 8 is to gain praise. People like to get praise and to feel important, right? That's pretty universal. That might be buying an expensive watch, or maybe a fancy car, or even a big house. It doesn't have to be a luxury item though. People can buy something to gain praise, such as a life insurance policy, because it makes them appear to be a responsible adult to other people, right? Keep in mind, sometimes people will buy things simply to get approval from others, like buying a birthday card or getting someone roses. And it's not always about gifts though. You can seek to get approval from others by maybe enrolling in a college and getting your bachelor's degree or master's degree or something like that. This need for approval is similar to number 9, which is to feel more love. Feeling more love involves things like acceptance, connecting with their tribe, or even increasing their sense of belonging. People will maintain relationships to things for years just to get a sense out of belonging and to feel more love. It might seem fluffy, but big businesses have started to figure out that many times the client experience and the community matters so much more than the product itself. Apple Computer and Southwest Airlines, they have figured this out because they have built an almost a cult-like following based on the feelings of love and the idea of belonging to a tribe. Number 10 is to increase their status. We all share a need to feel important at some level, and many people will buy things to increase their status with the people around them. So similar to number 8, which is gaining praise, sometimes people will buy enviable things like a membership to a country club, or a sports car, or box seats to a sporting event, or even they'll rent limousines so they increase their status to the people around them. But again, it's not always about expensive items though. Sometimes something as simple as a tattoo can increase someone's status. Sometimes though, they might be doing it to raise their standard, like buying a house to move out of a crime-ridden area into a safer neighborhood. Number 11 is truth. Yes, people will buy for truth, or at least what they believe to be truth. People will buy what they believe is truth, especially if they feel like they have been lied to in the past. They may buy into a new way of thinking. They may buy into a new politician, right? Or a new way of doing things. Those are all ways that people buy into truth. And keep in mind, personal growth also falls under this category. Number 12 is novelty. Many people will simply buy something because it is new or satisfies their need for variety. In the psychology world, this is known as a novelty bias. This encompasses everything from new cell phones, new cars, new technology of any sort really, or even new clothes. So yes, if you're buying that laundry detergent simply because it's in a new package that says new and improved, you might just be playing into your own novelty bias. Number 13 is more control. Let's face it, there are a lot of you, let's say, control enthusiasts out there who love to increase their level of certainty in an uncertain world. There are a lot of things that people like to buy to increase their certainty, to feel like they're more in control, such as security systems, accounting or budgeting software, right? Even things like guns or books or Bibles help people feel as if they're in more control over their lives and increase their level of certainty. Last on the list, and certainly not least, as these things are not in any particular order, is number 14, being in contribution to others. Contribution to others is such a powerful reason why people buy things that I promise that all of us at some point or another have fallen for it. If any of you have ever bought a candy bar that supports a local Little League baseball team, right? If you've ever bid on a silent auction item that you didn't really particularly want, or even bought a box of Girl Scout cookies that you didn't particularly want, or even if you stopped at a free car wash for a local high school, like a local high school fundraiser, then you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we just buy things simply because we want to be in contribution to others, even if that doesn't serve any other purpose for us beyond that. Okay, so those are the 14 reasons why people buy. So now that we know these things, what do we do with this information? Well, I'm glad you asked, because information by itself doesn't change things. It's what we do with that information is what leads to transformation. So the best way I have found to utilize this list is to list each one of these 14 things on 7 different sheets of paper. As I mentioned earlier, you can go to the link in the description and get the worksheets if you don't want to write these things all out yourself. Now, assuming you know who your ideal client is, where they shop, where they hang out, and so forth. Are they married? Are they single, and so forth. And you're super clear on your offer for your product or service, I want you to think of all the ways that you can help in each of these 14 categories, okay? So for example, if you're, say, in the financial services world, and I want you to think of number 1, right? All the ways that you can help people make money. And you should be able to fill an entire page on how you do that, okay? But you say, well, I'm not in the financial world. All right, maybe you sell used cars. All right, well, that doesn't let you off the hook. I want you to be creative. I want you to think of all the ways that you can help people make money, even if you're selling them a used car. Get creative with it. Even if making money isn't in direct alignment with the core purpose of your business, come up with a different way of how you can help them make more money, even if it's giving them a vehicle that is more reliable, that helps them get to work. That's a creative way in terms of how you can help people make money. Next, think of all the ways that you can help them save money. And again, fill up the page. Do that with each of the 14 categories, and you're going to come up with 100 or more reasons why people will want to do business with you and will want your product or service. Think about it. If you're watching an infomercial, do they ever just list one compelling reason to buy their stuff? No, of course not. They talk about all the ways that this is going to help you in your life, even if some of those reasons are not in direct alignment with their product or service. Now you have 100 or so different reasons of how your product or service benefits your ideal customer, right? Now you want to pick out the best ones. Pick out the most compelling reasons you came up with. And those are the things that you can use in your marketing and in your conversations. Be prepared though, when you start down this path, you're likely going to think of different ways that you can help your clients while you're standing in the shower or driving on the interstate or walking on a treadmill, because that's when your mind is in the alpha state. So be prepared to capture those ideas when they come up. Psychologists estimate that we have about 37 seconds on average to capture our thoughts that come up when we're in our alpha state. So we either have to capture them in that time or they're lost forever. So keep a voice recorder or your phone handy so you can take notes when you're in those situations. Before I wrap up this video, we talked about the problem, agitate, solve process that advertisers use to solve problems for you that you might not have even been aware of. I'm going to do another video on this to really unpack it, but basically what this is identifying a problem, agitating that problem, thinking of, rubbing salt in that open wound, and then solving that problem with their product or service. So if you have a problem with bad breath, and in their advertising they make you aware of that, then they will agitate the problem of having bad breath, like being dateless on a Friday night while you sit there lonely because you have bad breath, and then the solution, come buy our mouthwash, right? This is the problem, agitate, solve process. This process is used over and over in advertising because it's extremely effective. So start paying attention to how other advertisers use this and think about how you can use it for your product or service. Okay, so now is the time to get to work. Remember, we're not just here for information, but for transformation. List out all the 14 reasons why people buy, or download the worksheet, and come up with as many ways as possible as how you solve those problems for your ideal client. If, however, you're not clear on who your ideal client avatar is, I've got a video posted that will help you with that. Or if maybe you're having trouble establishing your business vision, that video will help you walk through the most important elements of planning, even if you have been in business for a while. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.